Hi girls, welcome to the group. I've been waiting for you to settle for us to begin. And this group was formed as a group to help women or women helping other women. And our aim is to make the life of each of us comfortable. I may be new to some of you or to most of you. And we've met on Facebook to some of you, and others we've met socially, physically. And you may be asking, who is this naughty mama who comments funny things? I'm Dr. Karambo Megalo. I'm a counseling psychologist, mentoring in relationship and sexuality counseling. Though I'm also a family counselor and an educational counselor. And I've listened, observed your comments on Facebook, WhatsApp, in real life. And I realized ladies are going through a lot of problems and they want a place to vent. So when we created this group, our aim was purely to discuss the issues affecting ladies. I know counseling is not cheap, it's expensive. And also sometimes as ladies we have money, we want to be counseled, but we have no time. So I created this group for you to be able to reach out to me easily and comfortably if you need help, because many of us are wooden human beings who are living with a lot of pain. In my YouTube page, I have a YouTube page, Wounded Healer. It's because I'm one person who has been wounded, but still I've come out strongly. I don't want to brag, but I tell myself I'm a strong girl. Very few people can go through what I've gone through in life, can be where I am today. Today I want us to talk about living with our scars. I'm not saying wounds, I'm saying scars. Because many of us are really wounded and have been wounded. And those wounds are healing or have healed and they've left a scar. So, and a scar is that mark now that was left after you got healed, you healed. And what has caused these scars, especially in psychology, it's a psychological injury resulting from suffering or from a trauma. And in psychology, when we talk about traumas are emotional wounds that are caused by betrayal, broken relationships, death of loved ones, violent experiences, lack of jobs, negative criticism, depression, among others. And these traumas I'm talking about are not those that are caused by blames, that you are working and you cut yourself. No. I'm talking about wounds that have been caused by people who bully you, people who injure you, and these are the wounds that heal and make scars. I'm talking about wounds that have been caused by depression. On Facebook, I'm seeing so many of us saying, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. We take it for granted. Depression saps our energy. And anybody depressed, please, you cannot sort depression in group sessions. You need one-on-one session with a counselor for you to heal the depression and be able to live with the scars. The hood is so painful to live with. Ukidungwa kidonda, a physical hood. You go to hospital, you are treated, and there is a scar. That scar, you see it, but it is not painful. It's just a reminder, nilianguka nikadungwa pahali na hii ndio kidonda. Even emotional wounds are the same. It's that you can't see them. They are not physically raw, like nitaona kidonda nikuulize, or niseme ninaona kidonda. Our emotional wounds are there. They're these things we are living with. You are crying every day in your blanket. That's simply telling you there is something happening in your life. There is pain. Labda bwana amekuwa akitembea na bibi mwingine, bwana ako na mtoto, umediscover ako na mpango wa kando, or is HIV AIDS, or he comes at midnight, or he does not provide for your phones, or these things are wounds. Ni vidonda that needs to be healed. So today I'm not talking about wounds. I'm imagining I'm talking to people who have scars. Because you can have a scar and a wound. Just like unaweza kuwa umedungwa imepona lakini ukadungwa ingine. So I'm simply saying that I'm looking at the scars today. So there are depression scars, there are love wounds like that I've talked about, and so on. There are also scars caused by other people. The people who talk negative things about us. Can be a mother, can be a father, can be a grandfather, can be your boss like some of my bosses, and so on. These people leave scars in your life. And what I want to say is that we girls are really crying. I know we cry. I cry. And I'm not saying because I'm a psychologist I don't cry. That's crap. I cry. Either physical crying, that you are seeing tears, or crying silently. I cry. And the more we cry, the more we feel weak. Umelia mpaka unaishiwa na nguvu. Haujui ufanye nini. That weakness, that crying is a part of healing. But don't cry alone. Go and cry with a professional counselor. Don't cry alone in the house. When you cry in the house, you're likely to be sick. To more other problems. Just like ukidungwa mkono, you will say, hii mkidonda naona inakuwa mbaya, let me go to a medic, to a doctor, aniangalie. Same case with our emotions, our psychological well-being. Ukidungwa, just go to a professional counselor, ambaye ni daktari wa akili, like my friends tell me, and talk to them. Because when you're crying alone, you get more sick. Ni kama uko na kidonda, unaumwa na tumbo, na hutaki kwenda kwa daktari, umekaa kwa nyumba tu, you will finally get very sick. Same case with our psychological well-being. And when you come to the counselors and talk, you will feel better. So I'm saying we have cried, and let us not cry alone. Then, as I'm talking about scars, people have told us, including us psychologists, anytime you're talking, time will heal. It's true, time heals all wounds. Even when you come for counseling, your emotional wounds will heal. Just like ukiwa na kidonda kwa mkono, hiyo kidonda itapona. But what people forget to tell us is that wounds leave nasty scars behind. And these nasty scars are constant reminders of our painful past. Let me explain it in a language you understand. When you go to hospital and you have a wound, unfortunately I don't have a wound in this hand. No, I have one here. You may not see it properly, this one. This is a scar, a physical scar, and this was created by an ex. I will explain to you later what happened. And this wound is a constant reminder of what I went through in the past. So you can see that wound. Same case with my emotional health. Yes, this is a physical one I can show you, but I can't show you the emotional one. I healed, yes. I forgave. I moved on. But still, there is a scar that constantly reminds me that I went through A, B, C, D. So, when we tell people time will heal, let us remember that they will be left with scars. And a scarred area is very sensitive. A physically scarred area is very sensitive. Same case with an emotionally scarred area is very sensitive. So it is a constant reminder of our past. But we should tell ourselves that when we have physical scars like the one I've told you and others, maybe you went through a CS, maybe ulikatwa pale through an operation, ulianguka kwa miti, a constant reminder that we've lived. Emotional scars or scars in our hearts are a constant reminder that we've loved. I tell people this. If you met mad people singing on the road and they say negative things or did negative things about you to you, you rarely pay attention to them. But if it comes from the person you love, you get scarred. It means something to you. And those are the painful wounds that we are talking about. Emotional scars, love scars. So scars in our heart show that we've loved. And we have two options. Option one, we can decide to spend our future life and our entire life focusing on these scars, blaming the life about the scars in our lives and becoming failures. Or we can focus on proudly carrying these scars to reach for us as we reach for our stars. Be resilient. Things happen in our lives. You don't give up. You move on. Ulikuwa na kidonda ukaanguka, ukavunjika mguu. Like my leg was cut sometimes. You walk with crutches. You go to the market. Do all the great things you can do. What is possible you can do. Same case with the emotional scars. He divorced you. That did not make you kill your dreams. He left you with 2 children you have to feed. If you sit down and keep crying every day, that aliniacha, alinifanyia, there is nothing you can help yourself. But if you sit down, reset your goals, and tell yourself, girls, I have the ability. Crying in the house will not solve your problem. What solves your problem is wake up, wipe the mud, and move on. And tell yourself, girl, I can make it. So whatever you are going through, if you keep saying, niliolewa, akanitupa, and now you are dirty, umeachilia watoto, you are failing. You are failing, girl. You are human. What you need to do is wake up, pick yourself, move on, and acha wao wanakuona unaendelea. And you can only do that if, for those who are right now stuck, you can only do that. Walk to a counselor. Let her listen to you or let him listen to you. Let me tell you guys why I talk about counseling. It's what helped me. The first time I was beaten, nikatolewa nguo kwa barabara na bwana na mbradhake. It is counseling that helped me restore my dignity as a person. Trust myself again. Pick myself up. And I tell you even today, nikifika mwisho, I look for a counselor. Why? Because when a counselor is, and I'm not talking for a pastor, I'm not talking about a pastor, I'm talking look for a counselor. Why? Because counselors listen to you objectively. And I trust. I'm not your brother, I'm not your pastor. To us counselors, there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. What is important is what is best for my client. So look for a counselor. So what I'm saying is that when we have these scars, counselors even help us accept these scars. Why? Because scars are a test of our strength. Those things you've gone through are a test of how strong you are as a person, how strong you are as a lady, as a mother, and so on. So when you go for this counseling thing, you get energized, and then you're able to see what is my calling. And through this test, by the way, you're able to discover yourself. I say, if I was not my first relationship, by the way, I say I'm a mother of 3 boys from different relationships. I'm not ashamed of it. My first relationship failed. When it failed, I was those proud girls who believed holier than thou attitude. Then, with this holier than thou attitude, I got married. Beautiful wedding, big wedding. Those, you see? And what happens? It fails. And then I cry, I moan, and so on. And I sat down and asked God, I wanted to be a marriage counselor. I wanted to do this. I wanted to be a church chairlady, and so on. My strength, my faith was tested. But girls, I will tell you, I came and rediscovered myself. I realized my calling is in a very different area. Today, if you tell me to do marriage counseling, it is a bit scary for me. But if you tell me to talk to ladies who are going through divorce, who are going through separation, who are desperate, that is where my strength is. I realized God was preparing me for great things. And now, what I'm telling you is, you are able, these scars test your strength, they test your faith. But you sit down and ask yourself, who am I? You have to always ask yourself, who am I? Where do I want to go? What is my business on earth? And then, our biggest problem is we try to hide these scars. Those of us who are physical scars, you'll find utatafuta kama ni hapa kwa shingo, you get something to hide. Kama ni kwa mkono, you'll put long sleeves. Kama ni kwa miguu, you will put a long dress so that people do not see those scars. Those of us with emotional scars, we hide them through a smile and a laugh. Yeah, those who know me are like, ata wewe, you've gone through that. Yes, I have. I will say what I've gone through in the next sessions. So those of us who have emotional scars, we hide them with a smile, we laugh, and so on. But there's something beautiful in those people who show their scars. You see, okay, you've gone through this and you talk about it, and because you carry them, whom are you trying to hide these things from? You are trying to hide the pain from other people, but not from yourself. Who is more important? You. So, to me as Agnes, I proudly want to show you my scars, and I'm not afraid of showing you my scars to help you heal your wounds. You know, most of the time it's like you're going through it, you think you're going through it alone. Fortunately, you come across someone else who's gone through it, and you're like, wow, I can still make it. Girls, you can still make it no matter what you are going through in your life. It is you who has to be focused. So, for me as a person, I want to speak freely. I don't want to speak and people tell me, you are divorced. What can a divorcee tell us? Excuse me. Yes, I'm divorced. But that does not define me. Yes, I want to care deeply. When I see a woman going through pain, when I see a woman going through marital violence, I always pick it like my battle. Why? Because when I was going through this damn thing, I didn't have support. Because everybody is like atuingiliangi familia, atuingiliangi nini, we don't understand. I went through depression. I would cry. So I want to care deeply about those who are going through this. Divorce is stigmatized. Separation is stigmatized. You go to your pastor, good women build their own homes, bad women bring them down with their own hands. What about good men? What about bad men? I'm not saying men to be mistreated. If you meet a good man, take care of him. If this man is good, take care of him. If you are the bad one, because you can be the bad one, ask yourself, where am I going wrong? Because most of the time we make mistakes without making mistakes. Like I did, without knowing we are making mistakes. Like I did with my first relationship. And I also want to stand proudly and say, I went through this. I've helped others go through this with less pain. I wish this, and I say this, for me, if a marriage is savable, I will try and save that marriage. But it takes two people in a marriage to tango. So, I want to say, I love children. I believe in the value of children growing up with both parents in a peaceful, loving environment. I also stand for children growing up where their mother is happy. If this marriage is not working, you can't kill yourself for the children. You are not helping them. So, I want to stand proudly, defend marriages, protect marriages that can be protected, and defend people, ladies, who are going through hell in marriages and want to walk out. And I want to say this today. If you are scared, if you are going through hell, if your boyfriend is beating you up, if your parents are not supporting you and you are looking for support, call on me anytime. Let's talk about it. Let us chat our way forward. But the most important thing is, dear girls, are you willing to accept your mistakes? Because most of the time, we also have mistakes. We are not perfect human beings. And a perfect human being has not been born. It is only Jesus who lived on earth who was not sinful. All of us are not perfect. So it might be your husband, it might be your boyfriend, it might be you. So can we ask ourselves, where also are we failing so that we cause ourselves wounds and cause ourselves scars? When you look at your scars, those of us who are already having those scars, especially in marriages, ask yourself, what role did I participate in creating that scar? Once you're able to know your mistake or the role you participated in hurting yourself, then it is easier, even when you get into the next relationship, to correct yourself. And the other thing we always say is that it is not for your partner to correct himself. It is not about that man. Begin with me. How did I contribute to these scars? Then you are able to care deeply, you are able to correct deeply, you are able to work with it. And I'm saying, don't struggle to hide the scars. What is killing most of us ladies is that it's like kuna marking scheme huko nje ambayo you are supposed to live with, such that if you divorce like my girl, you are afraid of telling people you are divorced. If you slept hungry last night, you are afraid of saying, I'm not saying you go announcing, but it happened. Nililala njaa. Go and tell your friend, nililala njaa leo naomba chakula. And go to the other one. Don't sleep hungry. You were beaten last night. Umekuja na jicho imefura. And you are like, ajai ni chapa. And then you will die when you are watching you. What I'm saying is that those things you've been through, you're going through, please speak about them. So if you're divorced like me, the self-stigma, the shame, because I went through it. Unakaa tu, you're like, divorcee anaweza sema nini? Uko church, kuna reading, you are supposed to participate. Mimi nimedivorciwa, ndio wanafanya. That does not define you. Work. I tell people, even when I read documents these days, marital status, divorced. I don't do single. I am divorced. That is it. So if you are going through divorce, come to me. I'll tell you it is possible. It is stigmatized. People hurt you for it. People will tell you when you're in malaya. People will say, nimeambiwa nimeolewa na wanaume 10, ninalalanga na kila mwanaume. It is not true, but I know myself because I speak about it. And what I know about myself is that I don't hate them because I believe I'm beautiful. And I believe you are beautiful. All women are beautiful. Just be yourself and let your scars show. Be you. Don't struggle to be somebody else. Be you. Girls, be you. Acha kuwa ati sijui wewe ni nani. You. If you are broke, you are broke. If you are divorced with 2 kids and you can't afford to take them to a private high-cost school, mwapeleke shule ya Kibaki. Be you. Let your scars show. And when your scars show, let people will know the battle you are in and you are still strong. Girls, people will tell you this, but once you heal from within, what people say about you does not matter. What people think about you does not matter. It is not important. What is important is you are in peace. And once you have healed through your scars, don't be ashamed of what you've gone through because you went through it and there is nothing you can do about it. It is in the past. Just like when you fall in the mud, you wake up, pick yourself, move on, and life continues. Guys, we are in pain. We are going through, you've gone through hell, or we are going through hell. Let me tell you, the future is pregnant. The future is big. Don't be afraid to face the future because of the present. Thank you. Let's meet you in the next session.